Is it on now? Yes. Thank you, thank you. Can we settle down a little bit and come closer? It's a little cold today. So you're allowed to move closer. Can the people outside please move in? I just want everyone to settle down. Yes, you too, Sidiso. Sit down. You've grabbed enough attention for one day. Hello, hello, hello. I'm going to fetch them. Just watch me. Good morning, compatriots, comrades, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this conference of Defend Our Democracy. My notes are on my phone, so I'm going to wing it, as the children say, the young ones say, because I'm going to out him. Reverend Chikani is still finishing his remarks. So he needed Wi-Fi and the hotel is still wasting. So he's using my Twittering on my phone, my data. So he's sitting in a room there with my phone. But anyway, I worked for a person who was very particular about time. So we need to start. Good morning and welcome. I think we have over close to 100 organizations represented in the room. Some of them are joining us online. Welcome to all of those who are joining us online. Welcome to this first conference of Defend Our Democracy. We are very happy that you could be with us this morning. My name is Mujanku Gumbi. I'm going to direct the first section this morning. My distinct honor to be asked to do that. A friend, Ambassador Amin Pungwe, who worked very closely with Mwalimu Julius Nyerere, tells a story about Mwalimu Julius Nyerere. He says when they asked him to say, Mwalimu, why don't you write about your work and what you do? And he said to them, I'm not here to write about history. I'm here to make it. Today, each and every one of you in this room and those joining us virtually are here to make history. We are not here to write about the conditions that we as South Africans live under. We are here to change those conditions. We make history by intervening in the course of what should be a democratic process, to say to all who have ears to listen, power to the people. All of us here today, 1 year since the July insurrection, on the eve or just shortly after the handing over of the final report of the Zondo Commission, when an overwhelming majority of the people of South Africa are hungry, poor, without water, without reliable energy, when children are exposed to the most vagrant antisocial environment, such as that which we saw in East London, but more significantly, we are gathered at the beginning of Mandela Month this year. We are here to claim back our power. My role is to direct the program for today, not to make speeches. First of all, I forget this place, I always say if you want, they say if you're a program director, you must say where people should find restrooms. I'm like, if you really need it, you'll find it. So I would leave it at that. I've been asked to tell you that, Reverend, I outed you, that you've got my phone with my notes on it. So no, it's okay. I've already finished. I went to school a little bit, so I could remember what I wrote. That tells you that I did it myself. Inside your packages, there's a small blank document, and as we go along, I'm told you should jot down your thoughts on that white page with the orange blocks. So that will help us a lot, because at the end of the conference, we want to come out with something. As I said, we are not here to talk about things, but to do something about it. The first item that we're going to have this morning, and it's my distinct honor and pleasure to invite a veteran of the liberation movement, a poet of note, my big brother, Bra Ike More, to come up and give us some vava voom. Bra Ike, are you here? I haven't seen him. Okay, if he's not there, we'll catch him later. I know the young one is here. And we're going to have an item from Anele Kahushu. Anele is here. I spoke to her, and she's going to give us an item just to warm us up, to get our spirits going. This is not a rally, but we can do something about getting a little warm. Anele, over to you. There she is. Here's a mic for you. You can move around the stage. The stage is yours. Go on.
Good morning, everyone. May you please clap your hands like this. Sengizothatha umama wami kanye nobaba wami sengizohlabelela ingoma. Hallelujah, ifikile imini yenkululeko. Sengizothatha umama wami kanye nobaba wami sengizohlabelela ingoma. Hallelujah, ifikile imini yenkululeko. Nantia, ifikile imini yenkululeko. Nantia, ifikile imini yenkululeko. Sengizothatha umama wami kanye nobaba wami sengizohlabelela ingoma. Hallelujah, ifikile imini yenkululeko. Sengizothatha umama wami kanye nobaba wami sengizohlabelela ingoma. Hallelujah, ifikile imini yenkululeko. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, Anele. Big round of applause for Anele. We're moving on because we started late. Otherwise, and I talk too much, so I don't want to do that today. We're moving on. There's someone who's going to tell us about why we are here. What is this Defend Our Democracy? The person who's going to do that is a person who I've had the privilege of working with for a long time. He's always led from the front, center, and back when the circumstances required it. Throughout his life, in and out of prison, in and out of poisoning, in and out of preaching. He's never been able to convert me that much. But you know, he's tried. I see there's quite a number. Well, I saw Bishop Mpumlwana here. I should be careful of what I say about that. But someone that we've worked with for a long time, someone who never sits down when something is wrong, someone who calls it for what it is all the time. And when he realized that we have mortgaged our power as people, mortgaged it to people who were playing with it, he stood up together with a number of others to say, not in our name. May I invite Muruti Frank Chikani to come up and address us.
May I officially? Thank you very much, and good morning to everybody. I'm pleased to see all of you in this room. You know, I was going to start with fellow South Africans and women and men and etc. So I'm going to do it differently. To say it is a pleasure to see all of you here. When this decision was made, we debated this from the end of last year, the beginning of this year, and thought we needed to meet in this way. And I'm going to explain that, and to see all of you here, it's actually exciting. And I believe we are here to make history. We are not going to allow anybody as South Africans ever again to take us for granted. And we need them to know from the beginning that there's nobody who's going to manipulate our people and take us for granted. We need to take the levers of this country into our hands. And so I would like to say welcome to this conference. We have got representatives here from different sectors of our people in South Africa, and some are joining us online using various media forms. The Defend Our Democracy campaign came as a result of the crisis we are facing in the country. As you would know, this country arrived at the crossroads by the latter part of 2020, when we had to decide as to whether we surrendered the country to the machinations of corrupt and compromised politicians, their rotten business partners, militia groups, the criminal underworld, their hired guns who kill our people and assassinate whistleblowers in an effort to capture us. They do all that to capture the state and nullify. They wanted to nullify our constitutional democracy. It was clear then that as the news was tightening up and the commission was doing its work, they were not going to allow a situation where they end up with orange overalls. For that reason, they decided they were going to have a huge pushback strategies using any means available to them. And July last year was one of the best examples. It was also clear to us that they were prepared to do the proverbial thing, which I've talked about before. I call it the Simpson thing on us. You know, pull the pillars of the country. And if they can't win, they destroy the country and go with us. And we decided we were not going to allow that to happen. As their strategies were becoming clearer and clearer by the beginning of 2021, we took a stand to save the country. That was what it was about, notwithstanding the risks. For the first time in my life, I felt I was in 1986, where you had to worry about who's following you, who's listening to you. And this is where we went back to. And these happened, unfortunately, to be my comrades. We took a stand to secure the future of generations to come, not only our children, but generations to come, to make sure that they do not become slaves of the corrupt in this country. We called on the people of South Africa to act as the last line of defense. You remember that for the country, that when parliament fails, which it did fail us, when political parties fail, and they failed us because it happened during their time, the people would be the only ones who can defend this country. And I'm pleased that the people did take a stand, even during July last year, to stop it. And we need to make them understand that they will never stop us. And so our call was for all the communities, the labor movement, business, faith-based communities, academia, media, sporting and cultural groups, social and developmental organizations, women and youth formations, the legal fraternity, and leaders of various communities to come together and act together. This is how the Defend Our Democracy was born. Those who subscribed to it signed a declaration. You'll remember that declaration for those who are part of it. And that declaration, it's in the website. You can find it there. And we determined that there are 5 objectives we must achieve. One was to eradicate state capture and stop the corruption and looting in the public and private sector. And I just want to say now you'll get the text, so I won't go through the whole text, but I would like to say that we are not going to allow anybody to confuse us about what's happening here. There's nothing as destructive as pretending you are doing black empowerment when you are actually looting and stealing from the people. We need to be very clear about it. No one must say, when we say no state capture, and when we talk about the Zondo Commission, no one must tell me that this is reactionary activity. This we are involved in is revolutionary activity. And we have to stop people who use our valued visions and policies to actually rob the people and destroy the country. The SAA should never have collapsed. It collapsed and we lost billions of rands. ESCOM shouldn't be where it is today. In fact, I am surprised that we started getting load shedding 2008, if I remember. And I can't believe that we have gone through about 14 years. We can't solve this problem. There are people in South Africa who are experts, who are prepared to solve this problem. But those who are corrupt will make sure that you don't do it because they make money out of it. And so we need to begin to say no to it, and we're going to go in there as the people of South Africa and fix it. And those who benefit out of it, those who sell diesel, because they make billions when you have this crisis, we're going to have to say to them, you can't make billions at our expense and at the expense of the people. The second was call for action to be taken against destabilization and anti-democratic tendencies. I won't speak to them because you know about all this. Speak up against unwarranted and unsubstantiated attacks on the independent judiciary. I've seen a number of publications lately which attack the Chief Justice. I think we should say, please leave the Chief Justice alone. Leave him alone. He has done his job. He has given us the product. We're going to